Ricky Gervais leaves audience speechless with bold joke about Keir Starmer comedy meets politics. In a performance that blurred the line between comedy and political commentary, Ricky Gervais stunned a live audience with a pointed joke about Labour Party leader Sir Keir Starmer, one that triggered a rare moment of complete silence, followed by a wave of laughter and applause. It happened during Gervais' latest stand-up tour, where the outspoken comedian has once again brought his signature no-holds-barred humor to sold-out crowds across the UK. Known for taking jabs at celebrities, politicians, and controversial public figures, Gervais has never been one to hold back. But this time, his target was one of Britain's most high-profile political leaders, and the reaction from the audience was unexpected. In the middle of a bit about political doublespeak and the often robotic nature of public figures, Gervais shifted focus to what he called the modern political performance. Then, with perfect comedic timing, he delivered the punchline. Keir Starmer speaks like a man who's reading terms and conditions out loud slowly, carefully, and hoping no one actually listens. The moment caught the crowd off guard. For a few seconds, the room went dead silent, no laughter, no gasps, just a collective pause as the audience processed the comment. Then, as the tension broke, the reaction poured in, loud laughs, scattered claps, and even a few cheers. This brief silence, far from being a failure, marked the kind of visceral audience response comedians live for. It wasn't just a joke, it was a moment that made people stop, think, and then respond. Social media lit up with clips and reactions. Many praised Gervais for calling out what some see as overly cautious political communication. Supporters of the joke argued that it reflected a growing public sentiment, that political leaders, including Starmer, often speak in a way that avoids firm stances, aiming to please everyone but satisfying no one. One viral post read, "Gervais nailed it. You can respect Starmer and still want him to sound like a leader, not a spreadsheet." Others saw the humor as potentially unfair, arguing that being thoughtful and measured should not be seen as a flaw. A political commentator tweeted, "Easy to laugh at careful speech until you realize it's a response to years of populism. There's a difference between dull and deliberate." Part of what makes Gervais' jokes so resonant is the broader political context. The UK is facing increasing uncertainty on issues ranging from the economy to international policy, and public trust in leadership has been shaken across the board. In this climate, how politicians communicate matters deeply. Starmer has often positioned himself as a contrast to his more bombastic predecessors. His speeches tend to be calculated and restrained, a style that some see as calm professionalism, while others interpret it as political evasiveness. Gervais' quip neatly captured this tension, using humor to surface a larger national conversation. This isn't the first time Ricky Gervais has used the stage to provoke reflection. From his fearless Golden Globes monologues to his Netflix specials, his comedic style is built on the idea that no subject is too sacred to mock, especially those in power. But Gervais rarely does so recklessly. Behind the laughs is often a nuanced critique. In this case, the joke about Starmer wasn't about attacking his character, it was about drawing attention to a communication style that, rightly or wrongly, many find hard to connect with. Comedians like Gervais have long played a unique role in society, as truth-tellers cloaked in jokes. Their ability to say what others won't or can't often gives voice to public frustrations in a way that feels cathartic rather than confrontational. Still, it's worth noting that Gervais didn't single out Starmer during the performance. Reports from the show confirm that he also joked about figures from all sides of the political spectrum, including former Prime Minister Boris Johnson and U.S. politicians. This even-handed criticism is part of what keeps Gervais both relevant and respected. That said, the joke about Starmer stood out not because it was harsher, but because it tapped into a subtle concern that spans party lines, a hunger for authenticity and leadership that feels real. Ricky Gervais' now viral joke about Keir Starmer may have lasted only a few seconds, but its impact is still being felt. It sparked conversation, inspired debate, and reminded audiences of the power of humor to cut through political fog. In today's complex media environment, where spin often overwhelms substance, comedy can offer clarity not by solving problems, but by highlighting them with honesty and wit. Whether you laughed, paused, or disagreed, the moment did exactly what great comedy is meant to do: make us think. What's your take? Was Ricky Gervais spot on in capturing a national mood, or did the joke miss the mark? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on the latest political stories, cultural moments, and conversations that matter. Let's keep the dialogue going.